This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Hing.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
The Gabrielle Spencer Show brings multidimensional insights and answers, healings, clearings, and activations for what is keeping you from divinely aligning with your soul's purpose to maximize your impact in the world and to consciously create wealth and abundance in your personal and professional life. Gabrielle Spencer is an internationally known inspirational speaker, multidimensional intuitive, healer, and strategist. And now here's your host, Gabrielle Spencer.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Gabrielle Spencer Show, and this is Gabrielle Spencer. It's so awesome to be here with you today, my very first show on the CTR network, and a very special day for me personally, not just because of this awesome experience to connect with you, but because it's my 18th wedding anniversary today. So it's a super awesome day for me, and I want to share this amazing energy with you. My topic today is the fastest way to raise your frequency and to increase your prosperity, because they go hand in hand. And I want to now invite you to call in live. I've opened up the phone line so that we can connect, and you can ask your question. What is blocking your abundance? So call in now. The toll-free number is 844-390-8255. And Cameron will be there to answer and get you in line. So do that now, 844-390-8255. Now, I'd love to tell you a little bit about me in case you aren't familiar with me, and if you'd like to know more, right? It's always good to know who's talking to you. So for myself, I am a multidimensional intuitive channel and a healer, an energy healer, which means that I can look into your energetic field and see where the glitches are, see where things have gone wrong for you on an energetic level throughout your consciousness, throughout your soul's consciousness. This is a really amazing gift and something that always amazes me, because there are no limits once we're connecting to universal higher vibrational energy. So I'm able to, or have been gifted with, the ability to access ancient higher vibrational knowledge, keys and codes, sacred formulas, and activations. And really, it's based on the soul that I'm connecting with. It's what your soul has access to. And then we're able to use that information for others. So basically, together, we're moving people forward, which is really what this time is all about, is for all of us to assist one another, to raise our frequency, and to move into our leadership legacy, what it is we are here for. So with that, we all can then create that life of prosperity and wealth and abundance that we're talking about. Because it's my understanding, and it's what I teach, is that it's not about money. Money is great. It's needed in this third dimensional paradigm. It's how we do business, right? It's how we pay our electric bill. It's how we pay our food bill, our house bill, all of those things. It is certainly important, but money alone isn't prosperity. It isn't abundance, because within ourselves, we know there's more, and we know that we are meant to claim that, to receive it. And by more, we mean that happiness, high vibrational light and love that comes into our hearts and fills our life with joy, peace, and happiness, and fun. I love fun. And the relationships and the fulfilling soul purpose and our job, whatever that is. Profession isn't just that you're an intuitive healer or a coach or any of those things. It's what we do every day. And as we move into this timeline further and further, what we know is that it is our job to spread love and light in every place we go, the grocery store, the gas station, to work, all of those places, because everyone is thirsting and hungry for this higher vibrational golden light that is streaming into our planet to assist us to move forward. So in talking about that even more, we're going to talk about the fastest way to raise your frequency and to increase your prosperity. Because we know that there are a lot of things that limit us, right? A lot of us know that as much as we've tried, and we might have done a lot of programs, might have done a lot of different things to help us and to begin our journey, hopefully, to a higher vibration. It's probably why you're listening to this show, because you've been working on it. But somehow there are still things that aren't exactly flowing for you. You may still feel stuck, or you may feel like you've missed something, or that it just doesn't work. So when I hear this from people that they tried a whole lot of things, but it didn't work, what that tells me is that there is bigger things going on for you. There are higher vibrational issues that have to be cleared up on a multidimensional level. So first, before we get started on the really deep stuff, because that's my favorite place to go, and we're going to go there a lot, because there's some amazing information available for all of us to bring in and allow it to do what it needs to do so that we can release what needs to be released and we can move on. But today we're going to talk about the role that your mind plays, because there is so much information about reprogramming your mind and thinking more positively. And today I was listening to a book. I love listening to this new app called Blinkist. And I love this app because it provides the cliff notes of nonfiction books. And I have to be honest and tell you, I don't love to read nonfiction books, so this is the perfect way for me to get just what I need, right? So here's the beauty of this. They were talking about the momentum that you get from music, that your mind actually gets from music. And specifically, they were talking about Rocky Balboa and the music of I Am the Survivor, right? Eye of the Tiger, which is all about him being the underdog and coming out on top, right? And why do we love underdogs? And even my own story, when I get into it throughout my shows, you'll hear more and more as it relates. I love my story because, yep, it's an underdog story. But in the end, what really makes it awesome is that I'm no longer playing that role. And none of us want to play that role. It's a crappy victim role in many ways. And we feel like we're the victim of what's happening. And we don't have any choices, and we can't do it for ourselves, and we don't know how to do it, and all of those things. And that's what an underdog is. The reason Rocky Balboa is so awesome is because he really worked hard at it and he succeeded. So our mind is what gives us that oomph. So in this book, they were talking about how just the playing of this music was enough to give sprinters an edge over their other contestants. And they did this test, which we love tests. I'm a thinker. And this is what I love about my work, is that I get to be a thinker, but I also get to tap into higher universal knowledge, which frankly is way better than anything I could ever think of. That's what I've learned. And it's pretty awesome when you're able to tap into it and then bring that into your current life and use it. So the role that your mind plays is a controller. The story I've just described to you is a controlling story, even though it was controlling it in a positive way, right? So as each of one of us talk about thinking positively, it might be enough to give you the edge if you have been committed and you have trained and you've done all the work and you have everything in the process and you are just pushing it forward, right? But there is another way to do it a little bit easier, where we don't have to push so hard. The struggle's not so hard. We don't have to fight it, versus like Rocky, who really had to fight. We want to make this transition easier. We want our mind to cooperate with us and to assist us in the most positive way, because we all know we're not all playing Eye of the Tiger often, right? I haven't played it in a long time, although I will tell you that my favorite song is Girl on Fire. So there you are. That's my favorite because it really gets me pumped up. So here's the thing about the mind, and the mind being a controller. We know that it can do positive things for us, but most of the time where the energetic frequency is in a lower vibrational energetic. So no matter how hard you may be trying to think your way out of your box, think your way out of your situation, think of your way to an answer or a solution, your mind only knows what it knows. It only knows what it has access to. And for the most part, it has access to your subconscious. It has access to your emotions, and it filters for you your memories. So that is its control box, and that's the box that it primarily keeps you in because that's what it knows. And that is how the third dimensional paradigm is set up, so that we are tapping into the energetic that's available and is in charge. So many people will tell me, well, I have issues with control. And I said, yeah, so does everybody. Why? Because that's the programming of the third dimension. The programming is for you to allow your mind to keep you safe, to figure out your issues, right? To figure out what you need to do next. And so since that's the normal programming, it's very hard to outwit that programming because that's the way we are meant to keep ourselves safe. It's how we are meant to progress through our lives. So now you're at this juncture where you say, okay, so that's what the mind's going to do. So how do I change that? How do I move myself out of that old way of doing business? Because that is the old way. As we have moved into higher vibrational frequency, guess what's happening? We're no longer restricted to the mind being in charge. So now more than ever, we are not subject to the control of our mind. Rather, we're in a place where our mind can be brought into a different alignment. So when we come in with the programming, the triangle, and everything, remember, in the universe is sacred geometry. The triangle is sacred geometry as well, and it's in so many sacred geometries. The programming that we come in is a lower vibrational frequency sacred geometry, and it is the body, mind, spirit triangle. Most of you are probably very familiar with this triangle. And now that we are in and heading straight to, and many of us feel very close to the tipping point, into that fifth dimensional frequency, that triangle has evolved. It has transformed. It has transformed to heart, to the high heart, the spirit, and then the mind. And when your mind gets into that alignment, it does work for you. So for right now, if you are feeling that you get triggered, that you might be living still with self-judgment or self-loathing, self-hatred for some, mistrust of self, you're not sure about the voice you're hearing inside your head, you're not, in the past, there are memories where maybe you didn't choose the best thing. And I just want to give you a caveat here. Generally, it's not that you didn't choose the best thing. It's that those were the only options. And so that's what you were restricted to at the time. So as you raise your frequency, those options also evolve and they also change. So how do we raise our frequency so that we are no longer subject to those triggers that keep us from trusting ourselves and keep us from judging ourselves? And judging ourselves also means judging what it is that we're doing and the result that we got based on our perception and hopes of what we were wanting, right? So there's a whole lot of that going on, and it actually short circuits what it is you are trying to create when we are in that filter of, it didn't have the result I wanted. I'm not getting the choices that I want. There must be something that I'm doing that wasn't this, that, or the other, didn't work out. I can't trust my family, my friends, can't trust God. I can't trust myself. I should have known better is a really big one. So as I tap into the audience, I will get more of these things that keep coming up. So for people, for all of us that are here, we need to run through that gauntlet and release the mind's control over the memories and the feelings that it keeps triggering when something comes up in our lives. That is how we step out of that lower vibrational frequency where it's constantly doing that, and we actually get it on our side in a more positive way, so that when we hear music, it is more easily making that difference. So of course, I have high vibrational music on all the time. I prefer Om Mani Padme Hum, and it plays very lowly in my office 24 hours a day. This is because I want to be immersed in the higher vibrational energy, because I have 3 kids and a husband. Obviously, it's my 18th wedding anniversary. And so there's always things happening. And so anything I can do to help keep the vibration high is what I do. And I definitely use music for that. And we're going to be taking a break. And I want to share with you that the music that I'm playing for you during this break, this 30-second music, it plays at the beginning and at the end of our break, is golden light encoded. It's healing frequency to assist you to heal on multidimensional levels. And today, the theme is what we're going to talk about in a little bit. It's about forgiveness. And this was inspired by somebody who emailed me. What does forgiveness mean to you was the question. So we're going to answer that in this next piece, and why that's so important to helping to get your brain, your mind, in the correct alignment to assist you to be at a higher frequency all the time. All right, then let's take our break and let you listen. Close your eyes and just allow the information to come forward.
If you're ready to make your own shift into higher consciousness, to divinely align with your soul's purpose and consciously create your personal and professional wealth and abundance, then Gabrielle Spencer is your expert coach and trusted ally. Go to www.cwclight.com/strategy to claim your free conscious wealth creation breakthrough session at www.cwclight.com/strategy or text CWC1 to 444-999.
All right, welcome back. You are listening to the Gabrielle Spencer Show. And if you want, you can call in live and ask me your question about what's blocking your abundance and your prosperity. You can call in to 844-390-8255 and get in line so that I can assist you today with getting some answers. So often I hear from people how they want clarity and direction. And actually that's much easier to get as long as you are willing to have an open heart and listen and to tap into universal energy. Okay, so if the lines are full, just keep calling back, okay? Because we will get to them really soon. And knowing that people are calling in, we will move right along, right? So here we go. I want to talk to you about how it is and why it is that your mind actually short circuits what it is that you're trying to create. And this is because your mind is triggering your emotions. That's what's feeding the information. It picks up on what your emotional body is saying and feeling. It is reminding you of memories that you have, that when things went wrong, it could go wrong again. Now, there are times when that's really important, like, driving too fast on the highway or not stopping for the red light. Those sort of things. We need the mind to be on automation and remind us that these are things that we need to be careful about. But when it comes to the really big things about what is my life purpose and why am I here and why can I not get out of this issue, or why does this keep happening to me? Goodness gracious, why does this keep happening to me? That one, I hear this so often, because whether it's never the exact same situation that occurs, but what occurs are similar issues, or they have the same effect, right? And so the way we're trained to look at things in our current life is by what's the symptom? What happened to me, and I'm never going to have that happen to me again. And that's how we approach things, is that we are trained to look for what went wrong, but not the root of the issue. The root of the issue is not what we think. Most of the time when I speak with people, they will tell me where they think the root of the problem began in their current existence. And that's perfectly understandable. That is normal. What happens is, what occurs in your current life basically is a reminder that there is a hurt, a trauma, a trigger. I like to call them tears or glitches or various things of that nature. All sorts of things have happened, and it affects you in a multidimensional frequency way differently. It gets stored differently for people. And it gets stored at whatever frequency you were at the time, whether it's a third dimensional existence that you were in or in a different multidimensional existence. So that keeps things super interesting and may explain to you on a mental level why things may not have cleared for you, because it's not available to be cleared in a third dimensional frequency. It is somewhere else in your soul's consciousness. And your soul, as we know, is not a third dimensional thing. Your soul is a way higher dimensional existence. And therefore, there's many things that get stored between you here all the way up to your soul. And that's the most simplest way for me to explain it. So what happens is, as things have happened to you, they get stored in that your soul's multidimensional consciousness, within your heart's consciousness, your physical body, your energetic bodies, your chakra system. There are many places for these things to be stored. Now, the reason that today's emphasis is on forgiveness is because forgiveness, very often, issues that require forgiveness very often get stored in the heart's consciousness and within your heart. So think about every time somebody has broken your heart. How many times have you said that in your life? My heart's been broken. I feel like I've left a piece of my heart. I feel like my heart is crying. There have been many things that people have said to themselves and maybe even to other people. Well, on an energetic level, that has happened. And it has created a tear or a glitch or an area of your heart that is missing, has been torn away, or has died. Energetically, many things happen that don't make sense to us in a physical plane existence, and certainly not in a third dimension, which is why in order to release these things and heal them, we have to do it on a multidimensional level and not using our minds to do it. We have to instead tap into universal knowledge, universal mind, into your soul to get the answer. And what's amazing is how it does actually always make sense after we do that. But it was nothing that we could have figured out using our mind, trying to figure it out, like writing it out or journaling about it or any of those things. It's because what those things do, I'm not saying they're bad, they're good because they help you to pinpoint an area that is a symptom that you're experiencing over and over. But from there, it's about asking for the healing that's needed. So here is the answer for the fastest way to raise your frequency. It is through forgiveness. And I start always with forgiveness of self. And the reason forgiveness of self is so important is because it's always about you. It's always about me. It's always about you. It's always about yourself. Yes, there are always other players and other things that influence, affect, and impact you. But essentially, it is always going to be about you first. And in forgiving yourself for making that bad decision, getting in that relationship that didn't work, taking that job you knew you shouldn't have taken, giving away 5 or 8 years of your life when you knew it wasn't a good relationship, whatever. All of these things happen. I'm a bad parent or whatever. I'm a bad partner. All of those things are self-judgment, and they're created through our own perspective and our own filters. And what matters is not how true they are, but about finding out what needs to be healed in order for them to be cleared and released, so you don't keep repeating the same old habits and patterns and creating and triggering the beliefs that your mind triggers every time those emotions are coming back up for you. Because that's how the mind continues to keep you trapped, even if you've been trying really hard to break out of it. So I want to answer the question before we move into the calls about what is forgiveness to me. Forgiveness to me is not what other people think of forgiveness. Forgiveness is about energetically learning your higher vibrational lesson that you needed to learn that is assisting you and your soul to evolve. Perfection is a false idea. And the idea that we could be perfect, especially in a third dimension, but frankly, it goes pretty far up where we're not perfect. So the point here is this filter that we have of perfection is incorrect. So I've heard people say, well, I don't need forgiveness. I accept blah, blah, blah. That isn't the point. When the trauma occurred, and I'm going to just use the word trauma, it can be anything. When that trauma occurred, you don't know what your perception was at the time. You don't remember or know all of the story that was going on that you were part of and in sync with at the time. So whether or not your beliefs have changed now based on what you know consciously, what we know on a higher consciousness level is that when it occurred, there is still an area for you to forgive yourself. And that means accepting the higher vibrational teachings and the healings, the clearings, the activations, whatever it is you need to make yourself whole. Because forgiveness is really when you're not whole anymore, for whatever the reason is. So we use forgiveness here in this plane because that's our word. We don't have awesome words. I find that to be so often that's the case. I don't have great words for the information download that I get. So if you have an issue with this idea of forgiveness, choose a word that resonates. For me, for instance, I don't like the word surrender. It triggers me and it makes me feel weak, right? So even in doing the healing work for that, so I'm not triggered by it anymore. But the point is that I still use the word allow. And so choose another word, whatever doesn't trigger those emotions anymore. If you have the consciousness to know that something triggers you. So forgiveness and this idea triggers you. Know that what's most important is to make yourself whole again, especially on that multidimensional energetic level. All right, so there's so much I want to do today, and I see that there are so many callers. So what I would like to do is skip the break for right now, and let's just get into the calls if we can, and answer for these wonderful people. Rachel from Kansas is on first. Thank you for staying on. You came on very first, I believe. So welcome, Rachel.
Hi, Gabrielle. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you. I'm so excited to talk to you. How can I help you today?
I know, this is so awesome. So yeah, I just got your email.
I've been
and
dreaming this up for a long time, Rachel. So it's super awesome.
Awesome.
So tell me what I can do for you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to call in because I got your email and I'm interested in just asking the question, what is blocking my abundance?
Okay, Rachel, do me a favor and close your eyes. They're showing me straight away a barbed wire fence. It actually looks like a horse pasture barbed wire fence. So what this tells me is that, I hear that you are a prisoner. And what that means on an energetic level is that in some existence, you have not been freed. And it's really interesting. They're showing me a vision as if I were looking out through your eyes. And what I'm seeing is like a whole pasture, like where you feel like there's a whole world just on the other side of this barbed wire fence. The good news, I'm getting shivers. So the good news is that the fence is not high. And
yeah.
And it's also, it's also see-through. It's not like some people where I've seen them, with a total concrete wall. So how does that affect you in your current life? What is it that you really want to break free and do? And do you know what that is?
Yes.
Tell me.
So I want to bring my healing work to the world in a way that I can also live, the life that I'm meant to live here, and in like a completely abundant way, and sort of have that abundance and sustainability and all the resources that I need to do that from the beginning versus like my old way of thinking, I have to like work, in this linear fashion and make X amount of money and do this, and then I can do that. And so, I feel that it's possible. Like, I know that it's possible to accept that and to know that, like, I can be supported in the beginning versus to think that I kind of have to, like, be a slave to that mission almost.
So what's stopping you, honey?
Well,
if you know that this is the belief, this is the perfect example of what we're talking about today, right? The mind says. So you're trying to convince your mind that it doesn't mean those things. So if you close your eyes and roll your eyeballs up, and let's together ask your higher self to provide for you what it is that you need in order to be set free from those limiting patterns. Why it is that this fence remains, because that's what that tells us. For me, that's on a multidimensional level. That's something that has to be cleared because it's not from this lifetime. So there's that. But I want you to, within yourself, let's ask. And I would love it if you would just be open to receive your answer. What is it that keeps you literally, like they're showing me that you can leap over this fence? So what is it that keeps you from leaping over the fence? It's only too high, two barbed wire fence lines high. You're from Kansas. You know what that means. So
yeah.
So what is it that keeps you from leaping? What are the things in your life that you can tick off for me? 1, 2, 3. What are they?
the things that prevent me. I think one of it is thinking that I'm like making it up or like dreaming too high, or that I like, have these impressions of what's possible for me. But then I'm like, oh, but like maybe it's the purpose of life to suffer.
Okay,
and
that's a good one.
I know that's not true. And I think another part of it is just like letting go of old like karmic patterns related to just like self-care.
Old time. This is old multidimensional stuff. This is past life issues where you've been a prisoner. So you just said it a little bit ago where you just said it where you're a prisoner. There was something that you said similar to that. So that's where the root issue is. So I will suggest and offer to everyone on the show today, if you go out to my website, GabrielleSpencer.com, there is the very first banner is called Prosperity Through Forgiveness. I would suggest you go out there and get that free MP3 and begin with, I forgive myself. Okay? Because when we're prisoners or enslaved, or everything you've said to me, you're still in the, I'm convincing my mind. Okay. It's like, you've got the angel and the devil, right? And they're fighting back and forth with each other. Right. So it's super exhausting to say the least. And it's super frustrating. So begin with the healing and the forgiveness of yourself and see if that is enough to bust you out of this self-imposed prison. And I say self-imposed only because you are willingly staying there. Like it can easily be moved through for you. So start there. And then if that's not enough, then, contact me through my website as well. And then we'll set up something, but try that first. Okay. Because they're telling me that, I swear, it's like, you don't even need there's like a pole to vault over it. Like it's like just a hurdle. Like you can just hop over it. Does this make sense? That's great news. I don't often see things like that. Usually it's way more detailed. So just go for it. And instead of convincing your mind, I want you instead to pick something. I like I said, I like Om Mani Padme Hum. Choose something that every time, and this is for everybody, when your mind is replaying things that you should believe, you should think, is that true? Instead, have a mantra handy. It could be just Om. Oh. And start having your mind chant that to yourself. You don't have to sing it out loud or anything. Just have your mind chant it, because that will disrupt the pattern that your mind is still in. Does this make sense? Yes. All right, beautiful. All right, Rachel, thank you so much for calling in and waiting. I'm so happy to speak with you today.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle.
You're welcome. All right, Kristen from Massachusetts. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Hi.
Hi, Kristen. It's Gabrielle.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. So happy to talk to you today. So, Kristen, what's your question?
I'm just going to go with the standard. What's blocking
question.
My abundance?
What's blocking your abundance?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Kristen. I see you in a room. It's as if I'm going to call it like a granny type room where you're off to the corner in, let's say it's a rocking chair, but the whole room is empty. So what's going on with that? What's empty in your life?
Empty in my life.
Yes. If you'll close your eyes, please. Here's the reason we close our eyes. It disconnects our mind so that we can actually get to the energetic and emotional reasons, really more the energetic. so that we can filter out what we think is the right answer. Because what we're looking for here and what they're showing me is like you're in your life, but you're not in your life. Does this make sense?
It actually makes a lot of sense. Up until when I met my best friend, she called my apartment the cave because I had all the curtains drawn. I was very depressed. I didn't really interact with people. I mean, I was more existing, not living. But I've opened up a lot more, and
okay. All right, sweetie. So here's how we do this. Just take a deep breath for me, all right? So remember I said in the beginning that we can see symptoms and things that are going on in our life, right? And that's our mind, again, telling us that things are okay and it's better than it was. But what we want for you and for everyone who's listening is to open our hearts to the highest vibration possible, right? So I wanted to do today a healing, actually. So I think we're going to just do it right now and help you out here. We're going to help everybody out because this is honestly so big for everybody in order to step fully into your life, fully into what you're meant to do here and to be here, to be able to share your light. That is our greatest service, is to share the highest vibration of light that we are able to through our high heart. Does this make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so if everybody will join in here, we are going to do a high heart healing and receiving of unconditional love. And at the same time, we're going to clear out energies that are influencing, affecting, and impacting us in a negative way. Okay? So if everyone would close your eyes and roll your eyeballs up toward your eyebrows, taking a deep breath. Take 3 deep breaths at your own pace, allowing your mind to move into the theta brainwave state, which allows you to be more receptive. Now, we ask for the golden beings of light to come in and to assist each person listening to this audio, watching the video, in the past, present, future, and throughout all time, to receive the highest vibration of golden white light directly into your heart chakra, and your high heart, merging the energetics of your heart to be one, surrounding all energies and entities and beings of a lower vibration, less than 500 hertz, to be surrounded with God's love and light and returned to source. We ask that all contracts and agreements and permission be canceled and released, made with these energies, entities, people, and beings. We ask for the heart light symbol to be downloaded into each and every person when they say yes to receiving. For this heart light symbol to spread throughout their entire energetic being and in their physical bodies, for it to unconditionally love and heal every aspect of themselves, each person, on every level of their being, creating an arc around them of this golden white light to fill you with unconditional love for yourself, for God, and for all around you, for this energy to be emitted and received all the time. We ask the golden beings of light to assist in keeping your vibration high and filling you with this golden white light in every moment. Thank you. It is done. All right, everyone, gently come back and open your eyes. Take a deep breath to ground yourself. All right, my love, how do you feel?
That was great.
Kristen?
That was great.
All right, I want you to listen to that audio and that piece, and you please go out and get that forgiveness MP3 as well. Here's your assignment, because I'm a strategist too. I love the mind, and here's for your mind, okay? I want you every day to take 1 minute, fill yourself with this light, and see the light go out through the center of your chest, out into everything around you. Just blast everything with light every day. Okay? And I would love to hear from you again. Email me, whatever, and let me know in 7 days how things are starting to shift for you. Okay?
Okay. All right, great. Thank you so much.
Much love, Kristen. All right, Anita from Cupertine is next. Thank you for waiting, Anita. Are you there?
This is actually Kim in San Francisco.
Kim from San Francisco, you're up next, girl. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today on my show.
Thanks so much. I'd love to know what my blocks to abundance are.
All right. Let's see what they show me.
Thank you.
Well, this has been a very interesting day. I love connecting with people. You never know what you're going to see, right? All right. So let's call it you've got to be on higher than a second floor in this vision. In an old brick building, looking out the window, and what you see is darkness. So what are they really telling me with this? Honestly, it feels, I hear the words, I'm left high and dry. So, asking for more clarity about this, the answer for you is that, all right. It was not my intention to do healing for every person, but I can't help it sometimes. This is what happens. All right, so I just want you to close your eyes. It's coming up through your, from your third chakra area up through the heart. It's actually making me want to throw up. So we're just going to allow that to clear for you, okay? So I should add here, while this is clearing, that part of my gifts is that through my voice, people are just provided higher vibrational frequencies, especially it's with intent, of course, as I'm in this mojo area. And when I begin this show, it's invoking my connection with my own soul and with source, and then just being the open receptor and just sending out to you what is provided. And of course, I ask for each person to receive what it was they need to receive through this show today. So for you, it's almost, just keep going with it, Kim. We're almost there. It's just breathe deeply and allow this golden love and light to come in, and for you to receive these higher vibrational healings and clearings and things that are needed to assist you to breathe easier, because that's what it feels like now. Like it's tough to breathe sometimes. And we ask for you to trust in yourself and release the overwhelm and this dark cloud, this darkness around you, where you feel like the answers may not always be there. But I want to say that the answers are there, but they're just beyond what you're looking for. Like in the vision, you are looking straight down, like that the answers are somewhere below, but you're not looking out and past this darkness. Does this make sense?
It feels like it's a trust issue. Like I need to trust that the safety net is there, that the
yes,
that the
it is
thing
about
that I can't
trusting
see
yourself.
is actually there.
Today's topic is absolutely there. All right, my love. So we have to move on, but just allow this clearing to continue. Energy work continues much longer, and continue to do the work and doing even the same exercise that we just gave to Kristen about every day connecting with the higher vibrational light and asking to be filled with golden light, okay? Through your heart and into your area.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart. Much love. Thank you. All right. Terry from Kentucky. Are you there?
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Hello?
I can't believe how fast time goes. All right, sweetheart. How can I help you?
The million-dollar question. What is blocking the abundance?
It is a great question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It is, because the truth is, as we said, abundance is everything. It isn't just money, because when everything starts to flow, wow, that's when life becomes pretty amazing and quite the miracle. So for you, it is the belief. So what is it that you don't believe is, I want to say, I first heard you don't believe in miracles, then that you don't believe it's possible. And I want to caution that it's not exactly the right words, but it's as close as I can get. It's like you want to believe, but there's something within you that just says, prove it first, or every time I think that I know, that it isn't. So is that what you're experiencing?
Yeah, I would say very much so.
Okay, love. So your energetic frequency and healing your heart is super important to belief. And I'm going to share a secret. Miracles happen, but they happen a whole lot more frequently when your vibration is higher. And then what happens is you actually realize it's not actually a miracle because you're tapped in and you can see how it happens, right? So it wasn't by chance. And that's where your belief kind of gets glitchy, is it's not, a miracle is not by chance, and it's not necessarily awarded in the ways that you might think that you would get it, okay? So trust in yourself, healing of your high heart, super important, healing of your heart and all of that is necessary. So begin again with the forgiving of yourself. And then there's more work to be done. And if you want to contact me, you can do that through my website, GabrielleSpencer.com. I'd be more than happy to connect with you about that. Okay? I believe that I'm being told that I have just a few minutes left. So thank you, sweetheart. I'm sorry I don't have more time to spend with you, but take what I said and do those things to help yourself, okay? Okay. Did I get through everybody, Cameron? All right. I'm in my last minute, so I would love to tell you that I am hosting the Conscious Wealth Creation Masterclass Series, and you can get a free ticket to this event. 18 amazing spiritual leaders in this new consciousness, higher vibrational movement of the new earth. And you can get that free event ticket at cwclight.com/event. Thank you, everyone who called in. If I didn't get to you today, I hope to see you next week. I love you, and I thank you for sharing my most special inaugural day on CTR Network and my wedding anniversary. Much, much, much love to you. Mwah! Namaste, everyone. See you next Wednesday, same time. Thank you.
You've been listening to The Gabrielle Spencer Show with your host, Gabrielle Spencer. If you're ready to make your own shift into higher consciousness, to divinely align with your soul's purpose and consciously create your personal and professional wealth and abundance, then Gabrielle is your expert coach and trusted ally. Go now to Gabrielle's website, www.gabriellespencer.com, and get your free bonuses and gifts. You'll instantly receive free access to invaluable healings, clearings, and activations that will raise your vibration and open your heart for greater levels of abundance. Go to www.gabriellespencer.com right now and fill in the opt-in. Now is the time to shift into your higher consciousness for creating your soul's divine aligned wealth and abundance.